podcast, and my friends are on cloud nine, and in those clouds and skies, it's orange and blue. Sam and Brendan, I don't even want to do the intro properly. I don't know why, Harrison, you made that face. You're not a Knicks fan. Sam and Brendan, I would like you two to open up this podcast because this is your time to shine, sirs.
Go ahead, Brendan.
I don't know. I'm still, in awe, and this all feels very dreamlike. It feels very surreal. Never did I think, I said this to you guys, that the Knicks would break New York's championship drought. I never thought they'd win a championship in our lifetime, to be honest with you.
Ever.
Even though I'm a much bigger baseball, football, hockey fan than basketball, I've always been a Knicks fan. And it's just been years of heartache and letdown, and between, just bad luck in the lottery. Phil Jackson experiment, bringing back the triangle.
Isaiah Thomas. Isomela. Oh my God.
Raymond Felton. The list goes on. Porzingis.
Lakina.
It's unbelievable. I think that's the only word I can use to describe the feeling, because like I said, it's just so unexpected. It was enjoyable to watch. It was a historic run. It was a team basketball. It was awesome. It was awesome. I'm feeling fantastic. So, Sam, how are you? How are you feeling?
Yeah,
fellow Knicks fan.
I know we've talked about it. I still don't believe it. It's crazy. I think I said this to you guys. I've come to the realization. I've said it on the podcast. Like, at 40 years old, like, I know the Jets will never win a Super Bowl in my lifetime. But if you told me a couple years ago that the Knicks would win that, like before the Jalen era, I'd be like, no, because there's been so many false starts, and you chronicled some of it there, Bacon. But it's great. I mean, just from a basketball team concept, it's great. I mean, the team is, it's just their team, and just a selflessness that's happened, but from a city and statewide too. I mean, New York's been alive for weeks now, and just it's been awesome and cool, just great to see it all like finally come together, and the way this team was built, and just a ton of credit to Leon Rose and everybody for putting this team together, and Jalen, taking $100 million less, and literally felt like he left it all on the court there, and against some crazy odds at times, crazy calls, and a really talented Spurs team. But yeah, just this team does not quit. It's great. And it's just been so fun to watch. One of my favorite teams just in any sport I've watched, just as from a roster, like these guys are, it's just great. Yeah, I don't even know what to say.
Harrison, since you are our podcast front runner, have you inherited the Knicks during this run? Even though you and I did choose the Spurs to win the series, have you inherited the Knicks now?
No.
Okay, just need to confirm.
No. I am very happy for the Knicks and the Knicks fans. Like it's like the Cubs winning. It's like, it's one of those franchises that, like you guys said, we would never think to see them win. And they were the bottom of the bottom, like the absolute bottom of the bottom when, we were growing up. And it's just, I'm just happy for my friends that they got to see it. I think that's really cool. Seeing New York this way too, like with all the videos after, and like, despite like the bus burnings and all that, the other stuff, the real, the real fans that were celebrating. Yes. It's just really cool to see the city like that. I'm from here. I love New York City. Like, there's a different energy in New York City when, things are going well and everyone's excited and happy. It's just it's an amazing place to be. So I'm just really happy to see my friends finally get one. But yeah, I didn't inherit it. No. we'll
Okay. I
I
just
won't,
wanted to
I
make
won't
sure.
hop
There's
on this
room
one.
on the wagon
Good,
for you. If
good.
you want
No,
to
no,
jump.
it's okay.
No,
It's
no,
okay.
no,
We're scooting this
no.
down.
It's okay.
We don't
No.
we don't want
No.
you on this
No.
bandwagon. We don't want you on the
No.
Giants
No.
bandwagon.
Sam, don't.
All right, I
Sam,
was
don't
trying.
do that.
No,
Don't know.
the biggest
Wait, I thought the
takeaway-
Giants were for me.
No,
No?
after
No.
this whole thing and prior proclamations of yours, this, when you had said don't be too optimistic about the Knicks' chances, I think lesson learned here is
Hey,
whatever Harrison says good about a team or his predictions, you go with the opposite. So
that was 100%.
So, yeah.
Finally, somebody understands what I've been saying for years. Thank
100%.
you. Thank you. I'm so
100%.
glad.
That's
So
funny
glad.
because we came on Brendan last podcast just so amped up, ready to go,
Did.
but knew
I
that it
killed
would
it.
be a fight. And you were the wet blanket like immediately.
I was
There was
so
a
bad.
right on it. Yeah.
in my
100%.
brain where I was like, yeah, maybe that's a good thing because Harrison always just the opposite happened.
Mm-hmm.
Here
Right?
we are.
I did y'all. I did you all a favor.
Yeah,
It's
thanks.
true.
That's
It's all
and
part
this
of
is,
the
This
plan.
is his other way. This is a part of Harrison. This is the other thing. He's gonna find a win
It's
no
all
matter
part-
what.
Yeah.
No matter
No
what.
matter what. So this is what he does. So just know
That's
this.
fair.
Yeah.
A few things to say my brother Brendan here. The Knicks were not the first team to break the New York spell. It was the Liberty, which is right over behind
Right there,
Sam's
man.
shoulder. Just save my brother Brendan.
I mean the four major sports.
Don't-
But okay.
I just I'm saving you. But
Sure.
but trust
Somebody
me.
mute him. Just mute him.
But we shouldn't be.
Yeah. The Tony Reality button.
To watch what this has become and what this has turned into. This was a I told you so, you doubted us tour. I know one particular person right now that is probably in hiding is Becky Hammond, that talked about Jalen Brunson. Even Stephen A. Smith talked about him. Everybody talked about his size. I guess people forgot about David versus Goliath. And it was literally that Jalen Brunson seemingly was the only person that could consistently make shots over Wemby, and that is a challenge in itself. But there's one thing that I know that I've always said to my Knicks brothers, is the Knicks always were missing a point guard. And you finally got that point guard. And I know there's been Stephon Marbury. I know there's been Charlie Ward. I know there's been that. But I'm talking about a guy that is the guy. And I know Steph was that, but didn't have the other pieces around him too. For Cat, he was the butt of people's jokes. Jimmy Butler, when they left, that was a whole thing. Cat was sassy Cat, all this stuff like that, right? To see him now win and what he's gone through, losing his mother, right? Which was a very, very big part of that. Seeing how that has come about. Mikal Bridges, being the guy that was drafted technically by the Sixers, but then traded off. And then this guy that sat in Phoenix, but was a really good two-way player, then to go to Brooklyn, be the star there, and then trading all those picks, which as Knicks fans would say, F them picks at this point and have been saying. Now you see where he's at. Josh Hart, he was already a champion with the Lakers before, correct? He won with the Lakers at
Was
that
he
point in
on
time?
that?
Or is this his first one?
No, because he was
Yes,
in the
yay, nay? No, he left,
he
right?
was in the Anthony Davis trade. So no,
Yeah.
he wasn't. Yeah.
So no, he didn't. But Josh Hart to be a good utility guy at that
he's
point in
the
time,
Swiss
and now
Army
to
knife,
be a key part of this, and seeing OG, which, as I've mentioned before, I remember some Knicks fans were just like, "Why did we trade for him?" Because they traded off of RJ Barrett, and was like, "Oh, that's our future and whatnot." And to see OG, from those that didn't watch him in Toronto and what he did, and can see he got progressively better, and pretty much to me, in my opinion, was the unsung hero of this team. He was there everywhere. Spurs also made some very catastrophic missteps. Like Harrison, since you and I have grew up playing basketball, what is one thing that they teach you about the inbounder? You always know where the inbounder is. And that is basketball 101. You know where the inbounder is. And he literally was able to get one of the greatest tips ever in basketball. Like that will go down in history. Just us texting. And I want you guys, if it's your first time listening to this podcast, welcome. I normally do this whole intro and whatnot, but it wasn't about that this time. It was about two people on here that are Knicks fans, and then all the Knicks fans in New York and the friends that we know. To hear and just to watch us text about this, to watch Brendan be fully engaged in watching basketball. That was phenomenal for me to even see, like, the text message. Brendan, for those that don't watch this podcast, first time listening, those that have listened, Brendan's normally asleep at these times.
Yeah, he's in bed.
He was locked in.
Yeah,
loved every second of
my
that.
schedule.
You know what I mean? Like,
just completely wrecked, but it was worth it. It was worth it.
I'm sure. But this is a moment that seeing, like, even for me, not being a Knicks fan, being a rival fan, right, of the team across town, watching what the Knicks do. And we talked about this when the Knicks were playing against Trae Young in the playoffs and moving around. When the Knicks are in the playoffs, there's a different type of energy. And being New Yorkers, being around, seeing all the hats everywhere, seeing the shirts, jerseys, everywhere you went, it was a different type of energy every single place that you went. And to say that it wasn't addicting to be a part of this ride and watch and be a part of and watching how everything played out, to have two of the biggest, largest comebacks in NBA history. This team is historic, and you have one of the most clutch players ever to do it leading the team. So, again, I can't stress enough how happy I am for you guys and fellow fans that we know. I've celebrated with a couple of them and got to watch them cry and let it out in person, and be in a bar full of people doing that. You guys deserve it. You sold out the Garden no matter what when they sucked. 13 wins, still there, sold it out. It's just amazing to watch. So this is your guys' time. I hope you two are somehow, some way calling out sick or are going to the parade, because you deserve to be in the Canyon of Heroes. Because I will tell you, from going when the Yankees won, it was an experience I'll never, ever forget. So shout out to you guys.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Knicks, too, have probably the most loyal fan base.
Absolutely.
In any sport. You know, I mean, we have suffered with this team for decades. Mm-hmm. I mean, a 53-year championship drought. Yeah, I mean, I just think the word for it is just surreal. Like I said, it still doesn't seem like this is reality. And it's crazy. It's crazy to think about waking up, in the morning, like, oh, the Knicks won the NBA championship. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, and it's such a, like, I mean, to really just look at it socially too, like New York City. Yeah, there's some idiots out there burning buses and throwing eggs and doing crazy shit. But just to see, like, everyone just unified, and because for the most part, and no disrespect, Hayes, the Knicks are the currency in New York City, where you can
hands down.
There's a lot of Met fans. It's not it is, but a Yankee, town. But there are a lot of Met fans, and they're really loud when they can be. There's a lot of Jets fans, but it's still a giant. It's a Giants town. But this is like New York City in basketball. Like, you could just see. Like, I could only imagine, like, if this run continues in any way. I mean, we've fielded a competitive team the last few years, right? So I mean, it's just been mounting for so long, but it's just such a cool sight to see. Just like the streets alive, the vibes are good. I go into Starbucks wearing a Jalen shirt or a Knicks hat or whatever, and it's like, Knicks in 5, Knicks in 4, whatever it is. Like, it's just been
signs everywhere.
Great. It's been great.
Everybody talking about it. It's the best thing that happened to the Knicks is Dolan taking his hands off the wheel and letting the basketball people do the basketball thing. I'm so glad it was so loud in the bar, and they cut off and went to the music, and I didn't get to hear his speech because I didn't really care. But it was just so nice to see the embrace of Jalen and Rick, and seeing Patrick Ewing. If you looked at his face, it was like the world was lifted off of his shoulders. Like, I wanted to give this to you guys and wasn't able to do that, and to be able to be there and witness that. Again, bringing back on both sides for this, for Spurs and Knicks, all the alumni that was there for the teams, like seeing Tim Duncan sit up with Pop. You had Latrell Sprewell, Allen Houston, Patrick Ewing, John Starks, Melo. You can keep going in the names of Knicks lore. You got Iman Shumpert walking through crowds of Knicks fans outside of the Garden. Like it's insane seeing what happened in his own jersey. Like insane. Yeah, it's seeing what happened, like the good stuff, like you said, Harrison, seeing what happened, the funny stuff that has come out of there. Also, real quick, people, win, lose, draw, whatever, stop fighting, stop burning stuff down. Come on, you guys are absolute idiots. There's no reason to do any of that anywhere for anything. It's just asinine. It just makes no sense. Keep doing the funny stuff. Funny stuff is good, but the stupid stuff, we can do without it. I think
this was as much of a win for the alumni as it was for the actual players.
Absolutely.
Like Charles Oakley, he was there as well. All those guys, they felt that weight in the 90s and unfortunately fell short and, went up against these dynasties and, between the Bulls and the Spurs at that point, freaking Reggie Miller, you know what I mean? So it as much of a win for those guys as it was for the current players. And, Let's talk about Jalen Brunson, though. Can we spend some time on him?
Absolutely.
A rarity, I feel like, in this day and age between the. What's that? No,
I was just going to say before. I mean, like, when Hayes first started off about like Becky Hammond and the doubters, and I kind of like they are valid, but like the reason it's valid plays more credence to how amazing he was. You know what I mean? Because like, being a small guard, you don't win. Like it doesn't happen. It hasn't happened since Isaiah Thomas, and he had a very similar kind of like well-rounded team around him. But it just doesn't happen for small guards. Like people say Steph, but Steph is 6'3", 6'4". It's like different. So like I think it just obviously all the doubters are proven wrong, but for like they had good reason to be like, this isn't possible because we have never seen it. So it just pays more like, just like I said, credence to how ridiculously incredible Jalen Brunson was. Like unbelievably historic stuff. Truly.
Brendan, before you go, to piggyback off of Harrison, I've had a love-hate relationship for Jalen Brunson for quite some time. Here's why. For those that don't know, Brendan, you might not know. Jalen Brunson took my soul in college. And it was a comeback there. And he's also a short guard there. So I never doubted his talent alone, because he took a championship away from UNC. And that was with his buddies, which two of them are on the team right now. So I have a love-hate relationship with him for that, but I love him because he's also an Eagles fan. So, but Brendan, as you may. Yeah.
I mean, first of all, taking the pay cut to build out that roster around him. I mean, and just how, I don't know, this whole story, the more like just the layers of it. And, you peel it back and it's just, how can't you feel good about this team and root for this team? But between, Hart and Bridges, how cool is that to have his college buddies who he won a national championship with at Nova, join the team and end up going all the way. But
sorry, Dante.
Definitely sorry, Dante.
But to start off, with the taking that pay cut so they can build out this roster. He wanted to be here. He wanted this moment. The guy, he's not. I don't know. I respect this about him. His humility. He's not a rah-rah, like, look at me kind of guy. It's always, about the team. It's about us. It's we. You don't hear him saying, look at me. It's all about what I did. He's always looking for towards the next game, right? I mean, this entire playoff, it hasn't been, wow, we look at that comeback win, or, look what we've accomplished. It's always the mission's not complete yet. We have the next game. And I just think that's a rarity in this day and age where, a lot of guys might take to social media or be more self-centered and just, like I said, how humble he is. I mean, and not to mention, what a hell of a player he is, and just the clutch gene in it. It's just unbelievable. I've never seen that performance in Game 5. There was like Jordan-esque. Kobe-esque. I mean,
it was crazy,
unbelievable. So I can't say enough about Brunson.
There's that moment. Yeah, go ahead, Harrison. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. I think it's just like the way he encapsulates himself is like even the interview with Lisa Salters. Like,
yeah,
so many guys are like pre-canned like nonsense. Like I just think of Jason. I think of Jason Tatum's finals interview. Like it's just so performative. But he just looks so genuine. I mean, and Kat did the same stuff. He just soliloquied for like 20 minutes, but that's Kat. But like Jalen Brunson is just as real as it gets. Like he is super humble. It's impossible not to root for him or for his success. Even, when you have history, Hayes, like it doesn't even matter. Like you just respect him as a player and as a person. So it's like he's so deserving. It's so deserving. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was going to say the moment, and maybe there was a couple minutes left, and Jalen he's at the 3-point line or near the 3-point line with Wemby, and he just drives to the basket, crosses him up a little bit, and like literally David versus Goliath here. Because I love you, Jalen Brunson. You are not 6'2". I love you. You are not 6'2".
No shot. He's 6'2".
Yeah, going up against Wemby like that. Like, regardless of what you think of him, just the length that this guy has, and just not afraid of anything. And I think this whole encompasses the whole team, right? Like everyone has bought in. I mean, even for and to your point, Hayes, and we've talked about it in past pods, like Kat's just willingness to do like sacrifice offense and just get dirty and like play defense and have his moments were huge. Like everyone just bought into this like team culture, and you don't see that too often. It's been great to see.
It's when a good team becomes great is when they accept each other for who they are and love each other for who they are, right? So Kat's thing was, he was soft, and everywhere they were talked about Kat, he's soft, he's this, he's that. They embraced what Kat was. Kat didn't need to be the guy, right? On any night, it could be Mikal Bridges, it could be Jalen Brunson, it could be Josh Hart, right? It could be OG, excuse me. It could be any of those guys.
Landry Shamet.
They all exactly, Landry Shamet. McBride, who a lot of Knicks fans still can't stand and were yelling at and cussing him out during that last game, but that's a whole other thing. But still, a piece of the pie, right? So seeing this all come together, right, and watching and hearing the emotions as it goes. There's a question on our rundown for you guys to know is legacy, like is the best Knick ever? And I'm assuming this is referring to Mr. Brunson. And so let's have that conversation. I'm going to say no. But I'm going to say in the history of Knicks, he will be one of the best ever to do it. But I'm saying right now on the Mount Rushmore of Knicks, there's Hall of Famers like Patrick Ewing, like so on and so forth. So if this continues to happen, yes, he will surpass. I will say this right now. If there's another one, he's potentially leapfrogging them depending on what the numbers are. But I think for the lore, and I say this, I apologize to you guys in advance, but just to make a comparison, Nick Foles won a Super Bowl for the Eagles. He's not the best Eagle ever. Like it's that moment that encapsulated it. I'm not comparing them. I'm just saying, just for what it is. In that moment, he's a legend in Eagles. Jalen Brunson is a legend with the Knicks, but in the whole grand scheme of things, not the best Knick ever, but he has a chance to still be that. That's my thought.
I think he will be. I think he just, and that's without even winning another championship. I think he just, like, if you want to go, like, just compile more stats, honestly, like Patrick Ewing played 15 years for the Knicks. Like, that's tough. So I think he's on the Mount Rushmore already. I think it's Ewing, Brunson, Willis Reed, and Clyde Frazier. Yeah. I think that's the four.
That's fair.
I think Brunson will be, like, it's going to be tough to put anyone over him without a championship. And he has one. So now I think it's just like compiling just more good seasons, which why wouldn't they? They're set up perfectly well.
That's gonna happen,
yeah. Statistically, he's not, but I mean, just he he has consistently played like this for years now. And I think just to be the face of this team and what they've overcome. And I think he's already on that list. I wasn't alive in the 70s. I don't know. But we talk about moments and Willis Reed, limping out of the tunnel and the 4-point play and all of these things. Like this will carry on into our kids' generations of
eternity, really.
Yeah.
Forever.
Just the
Forever.
play here. OG, the OG's tip and just all of it. Like, I think I don't think it ultimately matters. And I don't think Ewing or Clyde or anyone really gives a shit. Like, no, it doesn't matter. But it just makes it a lot easier when you know who you're talking about and what he also just brings to the table, off the court and everything else. It makes it easier. He's really easy to like.
Yeah.
And that goes a long way too.
For sure. Yeah, I agree. I think he's already there. A few more years under his belt. And like you said, if they do win another one, then forget about it. I think without a doubt, he would be the best.
He's going to be on Mount Rushmore alone.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Just a quick little nugget here. So Jalen joined Kareem, Magic, MJ, and Bill Walton as the only players in history to win an NCAA title, Naismith Player of the Year, NBA title, and a Finals MVP. It's just, like I said, just a historic run and feat. It's unbelievable.
I don't think people talk like, yes, we've already talked about his height, but I don't think people talk about how physical Jalen Brunson plays for a guy his size. He plays old school basketball in the sense, yes, it's still modern basketball, but the way he posts up as a guard, which you don't see that often anymore, he posts up as a guard, will back you down in the paint and will use his body against you. And he moves people that are bigger than him all the time. And he's so shifty. He creates that space. I watched him do the clear out elbow and into the guy's sternum and just get that little space just to get that step back. And it's amazing to watch that because that just reminded me of like the basketball that we watched growing up. Right? Seeing.
He's just a master of angles. Like he just knows like the angles and how to put the defender, in a bad position and use his body against him. And then he can get to any spot he wants to on the floor.
Any spot.
It's crazy good to watch. Like it's just.
And his layups to the rack, like just being able to get the one like scoop, like it's insane.
It's insane
that you see it coming too, and just you can't
and then
stop.
The mid range he gets off, like he just gives him the little shoulder bump, like and then just like it's just so good. Good. It's unreal good. Like there's no one. I mean, Shea is close with that, like doing that type of stuff, but he's 4 inches taller, so it's like. For him to do that at his size and use the angles the way he does is like truly like masterful.
Yeah. Just the fact that all the comebacks that they've had in this, and I just remember like texting and talking to some other Knicks fans and hearing them throughout the games as we're messaging in different chats and then individually and them worrying about them going down. I was like, you shouldn't worry about this team going down at all. After I saw what they did to the Cavs, I said, That's this team is they know they're never out of this game and they know that it's a game of runs because that's what basketball is. They are never out of a game and they have throughout this whole playoffs, even when they looked like they were out, they were not out. And the fact that the Spurs, which we'll get to, had these massive collapses and not just one, multiple.
5.
Every single game. They were up double digits. Yeah. They were up double digits in every game.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. It's my point. I was trying to be nice. I was waiting until we get to that, but yes.
They just played an amazing. It just didn't look good. They just rope-a-doped them. They literally rope-a-doped them. The Spurs used all of their energy in the first half, youthful energy, fake hustle, whatever you want to call it, all of it in the first half, and the Knicks were just like, okay, cool. We'll weather the storm and then you got nothing in the second half. And it was just, they did it over and over. They did it 5 times in a row.
Same thing.
Like, I'm like, you couldn't learn from the mistakes. I was like, all right, cool.
I think Harry said it over text. Sorry, Sam, I didn't mean to cut you off. But, like Spurs would go on a 12-0 run or something like that, and then you look up and the Knicks are within 2. And it's like, what the hell?
There.
Like nothing like crazy happens, but they're just always in the game, and you just can't count them out. And I think that's another endearing part about this team. It's just the grit and the never say die attitude, and it's unreal.
It's demoralizing to a team when you put in all that effort, and the Spurs play phenomenal defense, right? And they did mostly everything right in the first half, right? And to still see the team, when you get to halftime, be down by 3-4 points, and you're just like, we just did all that, and they're only down by that, and you know that the run is coming. It's anytime that Knicks run came, there was nothing they could do to stop it. Literally nothing. Nothing they can do. They literally fell apart every single time. Settling for threes, which we talked about. Like, drive to the rack. You got guys that can drive. Settle for threes. Then making bonehead passes, like the pass that Wemby threw at what was it, Castle, or was it right? His back, turn around. Brunson's right there. Like, just watching Brunson's face, he was like, "Ooh, like this is mine." Like, it was things like that. But again, I know what they talked about. Mitch Johnson talked about it before the series started. Is they're not worried about experience. Well, brother, respect to you for getting your team there. They needed experience, and they got experience now. Now we see what they do moving forward.
I think, just a really underrated thing, and obviously we all saw the games and saw they played out, and we always talk about like the Knicks offense, how they came back. Their defense kept them in it. Like, it wasn't like they didn't let the Spurs get too far out of reach, except for Game 4. But their defense was also incredible. Like, we say like, oh, just drive to the rack, but it's like they were bumping Wemby every single place on that court. Like, they were super physical with him, and their defense held them, relatively in check and tired them out at the same time. So like, that's you're making bonehead decisions at the end of the game because you're exhausted. Like, you're over it. Like, you're getting beat up the whole entire game.
Yeah.
And the Knicks physicality was great. Like, they just had it, man. They had them beat every single time.
Yeah.
It was evident that Wemby got worn down.
Yeah.
Towards the end of every game there. I mean,
he's a 35-minute player in the regular season. Like, that was a big thing. Can he withstand it throughout the postseason, playing 38 to 40 minutes?
And playing a more physical.
He wore down
game.
And he still ended the postseason with the highest effective player rating in the league. So it's like, but the physicality of it, it just wears on you, and they just wore on him.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it seemingly, mentally wore on him too. Like, he got, and I don't watch him as much as you guys have, just other games, but just irritable. Like, and I get it. And yeah, we could talk about, I'm in your head now, all these different things and all the cheap shots and whatnot. And I'm sure we will, but there's a lot of growing up there to do, but this team's ahead of schedule. Yeah. And this team is really, and the Spurs, and this team is very good.
Yep.
And Dylan Harper is like, I mean, he's insane. Castle, it was really hard rooting against Stephen Castle as a UConn fan. I really like his game, and I'm glad he didn't have one in Game 5, but
he wore down there. Too.
Yeah.
Wore down
but,
too.
I'm not going to say it's okay. It's not, it's not okay for them, but this team could be here for this rivalry could happen for a number of years, or this team in the West isn't going anywhere. So
it'll be fun.
It's going to be fun to watch.
So let's just stay with the Spurs. We'll talk about the reps before we move on for sure, because that has been a fiery topic. So let's stay with the Wemby narrative. Wemby was, is a face of the NBA, potentially the future face of the NBA. He's definitely one of the faces now as we speak. It was looked at as this, perfect, picturesque guy, right? even though he never said he was. The guy that went to the Buddhist temple and has done all these things. And then now you see Wemby and what you've seen of mushing Jalen Brunson and kind of some dirty stuff and whatnot. And I know a lot has been talked about. He's getting egged in his head as he's walking, out of things, which I thought, by the way, was a terrible thing. I thought that was going to wake him up, but it didn't. The Knicks were just too hot. What is your thoughts of Wemby now that this series is over? We got to see a little bit more of him in the biggest game on the biggest stage overall, and even I'm most curious about Brendan because he's seen him the least, and then I'm second most curious about Sam because you've seen him the least after that, and then I've seen him least than Harrison. So I guess I'll start with you, Brendan. Now that you've got to see him, because we talked about this on the podcast, so you can actually see Wemby. You've seen how he's played. You've seen the dirty stuff. You've seen the good stuff. What is your thoughts about Wemby's overall character? And I guess just Wemby himself moving forward now that you've got to observe this and what you saw in the series.
I think, like Sam said, he's certainly not the most likable guy, just based on what I've seen in this series. But there's no denying his talent and that he's a unique player. I think his youth showed a little bit during this, as it did for the rest of the Spurs team. The inexperience, but he's only 22, right? So, once he gets a little bit more experience, if he gets into the weight room a little bit, puts on some more weight as well, I mean, this guy's going to be the best player in the league. There's no denying that. So, didn't like some of the stuff that did not get called against Wemby. A little suspicious in my opinion, and it was getting a little ridiculous. But no denying the talent. The guy's a physical freak. The ball handling for a 7'4" monster. He can shoot the three. Great free throw shooter as well. It's like he was at the top of the key, and 2 steps he's already at the rim. And it's he's just a monster. And the stuff he would do, like tip the ball to himself, around the rim, and there's just no defending that. And obviously his defense as well. You could certainly tell when he was not on the court. Knicks were a lot more, confident driving to the lane and did not have any sort of deterrent there. But when he was on the court, you see guys, dribbling in, then just kind of about face, kind of bring it back out. Let's reset. So there's no denying the talent level. The guy's a hell of a player. He's going to be a monster in this league. Like I said, probably the best player in the league at some point. But I think his inexperience showed, his youth showed, and like we said too, like the physicality of the finals, like just kind of wore him down. And the side stuff, I mean, whatever. I didn't like it, but it is what it is. And at the end of the day, Knicks won, so I'm not too mad about it. But that's my takeaway basically from the 5 games that I've seen.
That's what we want to hear. Absolutely. Sam, I know you kind of just spoke about it a little bit. If you wanted to add
I'm
any
just
more.
glad he didn't get suspended for Game 6, and we won in Game 5, so we don't have to hear we won without him on the court. I mean, I've already said it. I'll keep it short. He came off, and I don't know how much of this is like lost in translation because cultures are so different.
True. Yep.
But he's come off, and the monks and the bad, drawing in the park and playing chess and all of this. Like I'm, whatever. It kind of gets exposed when you're being, I don't know, came off immature and entitled in a way. But I no doubt about the talent. It's there. He's, he is such a difference maker. And you saw it when he wasn't on the court, but there were moments, a lot of, down the stretch here, he got gassed clearly, but a lot of missed free throws, bad choices he made on the court. And, again, I don't think he did himself any favors by, he's the new villain in New York. Like, step aside Reggie and Trae Young and everybody. Like, it's clearly him. I don't think he did himself any favors this week, but I don't doubt the future is bright for sure. He's already there. It's incredible. You're not supposed to be able to move and shoot like that at his size and age and all of that. But
yeah, and it's one thing to play that kind of villain role, but you got to back it up, and if you're missing free throws at the end of the game, big free throws at the end of the game, if you're turning the ball over, if you're visibly gassed, maybe that's not the role that you should be playing. Reggie Miller played that role well because he would hit that clutch three, hit that clutch shot, and then let you know about it. So, yeah, I have no problem with if that's the role he's going to want to play. I don't know if that's really who he is.
I don't think he asked for that, though. Like, I think it.
No.
So I think
that's not his game.
I think it was built into that way. Like Brennan said, David versus Goliath. I think the Knicks fans and Knicks in general chose obviously to go at him very, very hard because you have to. Like, he's the head of the snake, and he reacted. Like, and I think, like Sam said, he's irritable. I don't think people like seeing cocky European stars. Like, that's just not something we've ever seen before. So when he's doing these press conferences and saying these things and being confident and cocky and arrogant for sure, it rubs people the wrong way. But I think he's the most interesting player in the league. Like, I just, and some of it is performative, like the drawing in Bryant Park and like all that type of stuff. But I think he's cosplaying like what Kobe would do or what Michael would do. You know what I mean? Like, I think then that's what he's grown up on. Like, he's a 22-year-old kid, and I still think he needs to like find his own path. But that's kind of what he's been coming into this league. Like, he's uber competitive. Like, this is a guy that had a grudge against Chet Holmgren for losing like a 17U FIBA Cup game. Like, and he won't let it go. Like, and he's going to murder him every single chance he gets. So it's just like,
never.
I don't know if he asked to be the villain. I think he's just naturally that because of his size and because of how he carries himself. And it's with supreme confidence that he can get the job done. Like, why wouldn't you if you're 7'6" and like the tallest person on the court? So,
right.
I think it was just a product of a physical series. Like, he was just reacting. I mean, Mitch Robinson literally punched this guy in the throat. Like, Jose Alvarado wrapped his arms around his leg to try to take him down. Like, if Wemby had done that to Brunson, he would be tarred and feathered and murdered on the streets of New York City. So it's like, I just think it's a lot of it's and
he did enough. He didn't do himself any favors.
Yeah, no, that's what made the storyline great. Like, there was a villain per se, like someone to just really like, okay, let's beat the shit out of this guy. And I think it's Goliath, Drago, whatever you want to call it, like however you want to shake it. But that's just going to make for more fun if these teams run into each other down the line.
I don't think he asked for it. I think he got exposed for it, though. Like, because clearly, I mean, you needed someone to be in that role, and the refs didn't help, and all these other things. Like, I'm not necessarily saying he wants to be the villain. I think he just got exposed as being.
I would
not
even
this
say,
golden boy. The narrative is that.
Oh yeah, he's not a gold. I don't know where the narrative came from that he's this golden boy either. Like, I didn't understand that one. I guess everyone loves him because he's a freak, and he's like, or everyone loved him, not so to speak.
Yeah,
now.
it seems
but
like
now it's a little bit different.
Yeah, of course.
Well-spoken, thoughtful, like all that type of stuff. He's still all of those things, but he's also like an asshole. Like, and that's, Kobe Bryant was an asshole. So, but, and he had, fans and haters just alike. Like, I hated Kobe Bryant. I didn't like watching Kobe Bryant either, but it's like, I don't know. He definitely didn't do himself any favors if that's what he wanted to be, is like this golden boy face of the league. But I don't know if he ever wanted that or was like.
I don't think he wants to be that. I also feel that one part for me, I would say is, I mentioned like the experience thing and whatnot. Let's not forget that Wemby's been playing high-level basketball for quite some time. Let's not forget that Wemby was the leading scorer for France in that Olympic game against the U.S. So Wemby has been getting buckets. Wemby is not afraid of the moment. It's just, even though that Olympic game, I think, was because he hadn't played in the U.S. then yet, or he had already one season there in the
It was
U.S.,
just
right?
one
At
season.
that time?
Yeah.
Not yet.
Yeah.
One season. So one season, and he hadn't touched, obviously, the biggest game. This is the biggest game that everybody watches, right? So there are different levels to it, but that was the Olympics, right? And he's playing against the all-stars of that, right? So to see him flourish and still get buckets there, it shows me it's just like, again, it's a team game. He has the talent to do it. If you've listened and watched what Kevin Durant's of the world, the Devin Booker's, like the premium guys in the league that have gone against him in post-game of what they've talked about this guy, they all know he's on his way. He's there already. It's just now, what does he do from this point, right? You all have laid it out like perfectly. I don't think he really cares what anybody really thinks. This perception of whatever it is, like we all care to a certain extent, to be fair. We all care to a certain extent, right? But I don't think he, like, for marketing wise, for sure. But I don't think he really cares when it comes to the court, because Harrison, you made a great comparison. Kobe didn't give a shit when he was on the court, right? Jordan was an asshole on the court too, right? It's that switch that goes off. Like, yeah, we can be cool, all that. Yeah, that's great. We get on the court. I don't know you. I'm killing you, right? What did Kobe do to his teammate Pau Gasol?
Right through
immediately
him.
ran right through him, right? It's just that you have to instill it's certain things you need to do for yourself and for your team to instill certain things, whether other people like it or not. It's a part of the game. Harrison, for those that don't know, is that person. He's that person. So it's funny for me to hear him say that he didn't like that, because when Harrison was on the court, he was that person, but it made him good at the game. It's certain people's edge. So for Wemby,
I'll add too. I think there's one
fine.
more like piece of the puzzle to it, and I really think it's the European thing, like the fact that he does kind of come across as
sense.
These stupid Americans. Like he does come across that way sometimes, and I do think that rubs people a little bit in a weird way.
Where is he from again?
He's a little prissy. Yeah.
What do they normally
it's a
know
little bit
for?
of that. So it'll be
okay. I'm just
I think basketball wise, I think he's
um,
really close. I don't know how much more weight he can add to his frame. I don't know if that would be even good for him to do. So we'll see. I mean, Giannis has added a considerable amount of muscle over the years. I don't know. I think Wemby should take that one slow, because foot injuries and leg injuries for big men is a death sentence. It's an absolute death sentence. So I would be interested to see where that goes. I think he can add a jump hook. Doesn't really have that. And then I think he just needs a better coach. And I think he needs his guards to mature a little bit so they can set him up a little bit more, instead of him having to really make his own offense a lot. So he's close.
So let's just stay right there. So you think Mitch Johnson is not the coach for them for the future? Or you think he just needs time to grow into that position?
In other circumstances, I would say time to grow, but they had a golden opportunity to win a championship right now. They truly did have a great shot to win this year. And they blew it. All credit to the Knicks. They played amazing. But the Spurs made so many tactical errors that the coach, I have a lot of questions, and I don't know if he's the guy. I don't think they'll move off him. That's a tough decision. And we've seen coaches grow with teams in the past. Eric Spoelstra he was a good coach, and then he got the big three, and then, LeBron, Wade, and Bosh, and that put him into that upper echelon. And now Spoelstra is the longest tenured coach in the league, and considered the best coach in the league.
And those guys have been gone for a long time.
The stuff with Mitch Johnson was there was just no adjustments throughout most of the series when he did in the past series. So he kind of wilted a little bit. It was really weird. Mike Brown coached circles around him.
He did. Let's talk about Mike Brown. What are your guys' thoughts of Milk Dud?
What a career, man.
Yeah.
What a career. I mean, he started as an assistant on the Spurs. And won a title with those guys, with Duncan and Ginobili. Then he got to coach LeBron for a while. That was fine. But yeah, man, he's he was really sure of himself this series and really sure of his team, and let them be great, but also made the right moves when he had to, and stuck with his guys. Like even Shamet, like usually maybe a couple missed shots by Shamet and Tibbs would have pulled him, or Tibbs would have never even played him. So it's just he had unwavering faith in his team, and it just showed, and it allowed them to be the best versions of themselves. So yeah, I think Mike Brown's a great coach. I wouldn't say he's like the greatest coach. Maybe he is, but no, he did a tremendous job. Awesome job.
Yeah. Seems like every move he made was the right decision. I mean, with Alvarado in the backcourt with Jalen, and it was a game 4.
Yeah.
And they needed that as well. 2 guys who can handle the ball, bring it up court. So that was a hell of a move. Cat's foul troubles early on in the last 2 games, going to his bench early in the game. Was it the third? I had no idea who number 55 was on the Knicks, so
I didn't either.
I still don't know his name.
Well, he was in for a minute, and then he's like, "Nah, we're just going to go small." And then they went small.
Yeah.
So when Cat was in trouble, they went small against Wemby, but that was the right move too. So it was. He was great.
He was cooking.
Alvarado looked like he was in a rat race. He was just running around, just.
But but speaking with him for a second, I mean, he hit some monster shots. Like he hit
100%.
huge shots, towards the end of game 4, game 5 there. So, it was just like every decision that Mike Brown made was the right move, and he coached a hell of a series.
That's kudos. Like
I think one of the most underrated,
shot, like the Alvarado shot, like that's kudos. Like they're hitting the shots, but to the coach too. Like they know that they have a coach that like will believe in them no matter what.
Right.
And that just lets them play so free. And they just didn't have any work. Like they played free the whole series, the whole playoffs. They were just like, we're just going to do it.
It's got to feel good to be like, I've been here before. We've been here before, in the sense of like just being insurmountable leads, right? And just conquering that.
I think one of the most underrated things about this is, who did Mike Brown know very well on the other side? De'Aaron Fox. And he knows De'Aaron Fox very, very well. De'Aaron Fox had a not-so-great finals. And if you remember, there was a big game that they lost in Sacramento, and it was because De'Aaron Fox wasn't guarding his guy. And Mike Brown was very vocal about it without technically throwing his guy in the bus, but he knows him very, very, very well. So that's an advantage in itself. I don't think that was talked about enough, and I didn't think about it when I first made my pick or whatnot either. But just knowing that and being around, it was a veteran coach against essentially a rookie coach, even though he's been there. This is his second season, right? So it's a guy that's wet behind the ears compared to a guy that has seen every defense, offense, essentially at this point in time. It just everything fell into place at this point in time, and stay on Dylan Harper was we kind of briefly talked about him. That's just one of the
coaching decisions that I'm talking about. Like De'Aaron Fox is there. He's one of the reasons they're even in that position. Like he basically played lights out in Game 7 against the Thunder on like a high ankle sprain, and he wasn't like his best self. But he made some really dumb decisions. Mm-hmm. But it was that coaching decision to just stick with him.
Sure did.
And they're paying him $200 million over the next 4 years, and it hasn't even kicked in yet. So that's like another interesting thing. Like you can't bench him, but also, and especially if you're a young coach, like you can't pull a leash on him and put Harper in there. So you just got a whole bunch of like different things at play that aren't just like focusing on the game or like how do I win this game. It's more of like the outside stuff, making decisions.
Game 4, he shot down the stretch. He shot him out of the lead, and and during Game 5, I was saying, "Keep shooting, De'Aaron, like keep doing it." And he did. He kept just like there were shots he wasn't even set, and he was just like heaving the ball up there. And he is crazy. Probably the fastest, or when he's healthy, the fastest player in the league, right? Like he doesn't necessarily play like fast, like in the sense of like he's not hurried. And you just saw a lot of that where they're not used to seeing that.
He's very controlled, but I think that's been one of his biggest attributes as a basketball player. Like when like when they take you as a boxer, you have you're a power guy, and you start losing that power. Now you got to try to figure out if you're finesse or whatever it is. Like he's a speed guy, and that is an element that you as a defense have to play against because he's already down the court before you guys recover. So now you have to play catch up. If the guy's running a wing that's an open three, like it changes the dynamic in that sense. So that part sucked. Obviously, we always wish we could see everybody
They're all hurt.
Full strength.
They're all hurt.
Regardless, he had opportunities. He's still a basketball player. He can still shoot. And he sure as hell shot them out of multiple things, boneheaded passes and whatnot. But again, it's not all on him. But the good part to highlight here is Dylan Harper, right? We talked about it. It's just watching what he did. He got to the rack almost any time he wanted to during this playoffs and during the finals. And to see him be able to do that, he's another player that's coming for the top
superstar.
Soon. And it's so bright. It's so bright for him. Just seeing how composed he is at the age that he is, and showing pretty much no fear at any point in time that I watched during the finals, says everything about him. He's good.
I love him.
He's definitely good.
How Rutgers with Ace Bailey and him didn't make the tournament and won like 12 games is beyond me.
It's
beyond
insane.
me. But yeah, he's great. I love watching him. He's
insane.
Yeah, they have an issue. Like how do you move Fox out of the way so that Harper can play more? But that's an extra issue.
4 years, $239 million, and it hasn't.
Yeah, there's no trade suitors for that either. Like you're
I don't even know how you get rid of that in this new CBA. So that'll be interesting.
Yep.
Crazy.
So before we move on to the next thing, guys, to the two Knicks fans, is there anything else you would like to say before we move on?
Aside from Knicks,
in your glorious moment.
I just want to say, I think I sent this to the group chat, June 14th, 1994. Number 11, Mark Messier, the captain of the New York Rangers, breaks a 54-year championship drought for the Rangers. June 13th, 2026, number 11, Jalen Brunson breaks a 53-year championship drought for the Knicks. Your move, Anthony Volpe.
There you go.
We got like
you
we got like 20 more years
of
pain.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope not.
Volpe had some big hits yesterday.
Okay, let's not ruin a good pod on.
Sorry. Can I just say, awesome for Mike Breen.
So cool.
It just, as a Knicks fan, being able to hear, obviously does as many MSG games as he can, and he's been the voice of the finals forever now. Yep. But just the culmination, like to know, like this meant everything, and it was just great. Great to hear, and great.
He's such a pro. I mean, obviously you have it's the Knicks play-by-play guy, but like no one was complaining about that because of how amazing he is.
It was fair.
Like, it was so fair, and it was just what you want. It was perfect. It was great. I just want to shout out OG one more time. Like before Game 5, I was like, he has a case to be the Finals MVP.
Yeah.
And then Jalen went stupid, but OG was just every single time. Like he shot, I think it was over 55% on threes. And that's with like Wemby closing him out all the time. That's like, it's just, but then he'd get around him and use his body at the rim. Like he made every right play, every shot, he could be counted on at all times. He was just played perfect basketball.
And defensively too. I mean, huge blocks, so all around. Yeah. And I think this is, obviously 53 years since the last title. This is why you got to really soak this up, but just going back to just how historic of a run this was, 16-3 in the playoffs, 9 straight road wins. Obviously the 29-point comeback in Game 4. We mentioned it before. The Spurs led Game 1 by 14, Game 2 by 12, Game 3 by 12, Game 4 by 29, Game 5 by 16. Knicks had the first, fourth, and sixth largest comebacks in NBA Finals history in the same series. Just an incredible historical run, one for the ages, and one that I'll never forget. So, Knicks tape.
As you should.
Away.
As you should. To cap it off for me, Harrison and I were wrong.
Thank you guys for being wrong.
Chose the Spurs. We were wrong, but I will say I'm very happy I was wrong in the sense for you guys and fans and friends that we have, best friends that we have we've watched them put and have multiple jerseys of people that have been here, and the hope that they've had every draft. The watching the people like, who the hell did we draft? I remember that with Porzingis and multiple other people, right? Watching all this happen, the multiple head coaches that you guys had.
Great Nick Lakina.
The going to Dolan banning Charles Oakley, the whole like the nonsense that went with it. Spike still buying his own ticket. Spike. Shout out to Spike Lee. I'm not going to leave this. Shout out to Spike Lee for being there. Some would say that you caused some of this drama with Reggie Miller. But shout out to you for being there. Also, little tidbit, Spike Lee is the reason that fitteds are different colors, by the way, if you didn't know that. But shout out to him for that. You're welcome. But to watch and hear you guys, to have the city, the state, on absolute fire. It was an experience for me to be there and watch that glory for people a team that I don't even root for, and just sitting there like, this is awesome to see people that have waited this long to get this. Hats off to you guys. See what you guys do next.
The most entertaining short series I think I've ever watched. I mean, it was only 5 games, but every single game had some new twist. It was crazy good to watch. I mean, we had
one of the twists is the refs per people.
Oh, okay.
So we'll just touch this really quick. Really quick, guys, is the key terms here. What were your thoughts on the refs?
I thought they were fair, man. Like, I don't know. I thought it was really physical. I thought there was definitely the last one on Wemby probably could have been a flagrant. But like earlier in the season, like Josh Hart kicked a man. So it's like, what are we doing?
It's true. That is true. Yeah.
So,
he did.
But otherwise, I thought it was reffed appropriately. And I thought the physicality of the series was a lot. But that's the kind of basketball I like to watch. So, and there's going to be errors and, missed calls and all that, but I don't think it affected the end result. I think it would have, the right team won.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that was inevitable.
They were
no matter
truly
what
inevitable.
happened. I think there was, to your point, Harrison, I have to agree with you. I believe they let them play, and for most of the part of it, right?
Except Cat. They didn't let Cat play. That was actually
correct.
That was a little,
no, they didn't. They did not, for whatever reason. But it was. I do think it was fair. Yes, obviously, there's always missed calls. There's missed calls and everything. We watch missed calls in football. We talk about football mostly on this podcast. Like, we watch it every single game. It happens. I love it because it's still the human factor. I don't want it to get too close to the AI computer thing and they're making all the play. It adds to the element of the game. Unless it's something egregious that it literally alters the game and it changes it. Like, I would hate that. But it didn't do that in the series. So for me, it was fine. Yes, definitely missed calls for sure. Especially, I don't know how you can't see an alien mushing somebody.
I think there was one like tactical error Mike Brown made, and that I think was complaining about the refs after Game 3, because I think that led to the Knicks like completely playing out of character in Game 4. The crowd was like irate and they were playing angry the whole time, and then thankfully they came back from down 29, which is just ridiculous. But that series could have been 2-2, and I think that was like one misstep. that Mike Brown made. I think complaining about the refs like opened up the need to like complain on the court when the Knicks they're better when they just play through all of that.
I'm glad it didn't matter. It didn't matter.
Yeah.
There was also another factor that resembled this color that
was a weird game,
but we'll leave it at that.
I'm glad Wu-Tang just saged
sure
the guard in that. We're good.
Yeah.
We're good.
Yeah.
And that being a blip in the story is so crazy. Like the president came to what? Like, what are we talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I mean, you could feel like it was almost palpable, at least for me. I don't know if that's because I was on edge as well.
No, it
game
was.
4, but like you could just tell something was going to happen. Emotions were going to boil over. The frustration was mounting, obviously, with the deficit and then calls not going the Knicks' way. So you kind of felt like something like that. Mitchell Robinson, little forearm shiver was going to happen. But, I agree. There's going to be missed calls. That's Hayes, like you're saying, that's the human nature of it. It happens in every sport. I get that. Yeah. But there were times, at least for me, that I felt like, wow, these are just they seemingly blatantly obvious calls, or calls that are just kind of leaning a little bit more in the Spurs' favor. The Wemby stuff, obviously, with the smush, and then the whole conspiracy theory about trying to protect him from getting another flagrant so he doesn't get suspended. But all in all, I thought it was a little inconsistent. I was surprised, again, me going back to being a more casual basketball fan, I was surprised that there are different officiating crews each game. And I feel like that just makes it damn near impossible to call a consistent game across multiple crews, multiple games in a series. So I feel like that could have played into that a little bit. And to your point, it was a physical series, but then they started to call it a little bit tighter towards the end. And then that's why you got those reactions out of the players. Like, wait a second, you weren't calling that in the first half. Now you are.
Yeah.
So overall, I'm glad it, like you said, didn't influence the outcome. That's ultimately, obviously, no one ever wants that. So, but yeah, I was just a little surprised at times, the missed calls, the skewing towards maybe a little more favor towards the Spurs. But
I know when we got the notification that Scott Foster was roughing Game 5, we all thought the same thing. So I'm glad
I put it in the chat.
Didn't.
But you know what's funny? Shout out to Miles. Yeah. He pointed something out to me. Secretly, the Knicks were 4-0 in the last 4 games that Scott Foster was.
Yeah, okay. I think that the Scott Foster narrative is a funny one. It's a funny one, but it's
a good thing. It is fun. It's always fun. It's always fun.
Yeah.
If it would have been Chris Paul out there, 100% the Knicks would have lost that game. So
that's the beauty of basketball too, Brendan. Like, part of playing the game and playing the sport is like the mentality to play through anything that is going wrong, and the Knicks just did that. Like, that's what they did. And that's why I like having different officiating crews. I like that every game feels a little bit different. It's just like the mentality, like who's got the mentality, who's going to be tough enough tonight to just play through whatever bullshit is coming your way and just say, fuck it. It doesn't really matter, because it does even out. Like, it evens out eventually.
And that holds true really for every sport too, right? To not let your emotions get the better of you and take a bad penalty or a bad foul. That'll cost you the game. So I get that.
Okay. All right, gentlemen. Quick NBA question: is the Greek Freak going to be traded soon?
Yes.
I hope not.
Yes or no?
But it sounds like it.
Yeah.
I think Miami will land him.
Okay.
It's between Miami and Boston.
It's wherever he wants to go at this point, I guess, right?
Yeah.
What does Miami give?
So.
What does the Bucks have to benefit from a Miami trade?
I don't know.
I mean, you figure you're getting Jaylen Brown on the Boston trade, right?
Yeah, the Boston trade's probably a better trade package.
You're going to gut your whole team. You're not going to trade Bam. You're going to gut your whole team and just have Bam and Giannis.
Yeah.
Giannis is not going to want to go down there if Bam's not there. That's not happening.
Within the East landscape, like I still think the Knicks are prohibitive favorites for now. I think the Pacers may come back stronger. Pistons are still on the rise. And we'll see what the Celtics, we'll see how Tatum comes back. So I think it's those four. Miami's still kind of looking on the outside with Giannis or not. I don't think it changes too much.
Do the Knicks repeat?
No.
Do you want me to say no so that they do?
I was just going to say, Harry, please say
Yeah,
no.
if you don't mind. What is it? The last 8 NBA Finals champs have been different. That's crazy.
Yeah.
A lot of parity.
Different, yeah.
Yes. No. I don't know. Knicks tape.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, do you?
That is.
Try to tell you that Harrison is the kiss of death.
Keep the team the same. They're unkillable. So someone's gonna have to literally chop their head. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it's going to be, which is why I said at the beginning when we did this, this is their best chance. I didn't think it was going to. We were going to see this. I'm also very happy that we have a podcast, gentlemen, that I can always refer back to things I said before they happened. But I believe this was their best chance to get to the finals. They got to the finals and they won. But I believe it's going to be a tougher road next year. Now, does that mean they won't be in the final 4 of the East? No, that does not mean that. Does that mean they won't be in the final 2 of the East? No, anything can happen. Right? We got to see, right? There's injuries. There's a lot of different things that happen. We can see, but I would love to see, just for entertainment purposes, what the East looks like completely healthy. Again, there's trades that are going to happen. It's going to make the dynamic a lot different. You also have Orlando, that is a young team that is coming up as well too. As you said, you have the Cavs. I don't know what they're going to be like. They're right there. They're missing something. Pistons are right there. So it's a lot of things. Like you said, Halliburton's coming back. I'm very intrigued. But now here's the thing. Now the Knicks is a championship caliber team. So now that changes your mindset too. And now you're a different team as well. So this is going to be interesting just to see in itself. But then we're talking about just solely the East. We ain't talking about the West yet. And that's still the cream of the crop to get through. And we saw one of the teams. You saw what the Thunder did, where they were. They lost. They didn't have one of their best players. So there's a lot of things going on out there as well. So honestly, I say it's this version of the NBA is the most open we've seen, and anybody can win at this point in time because there's a lot of good young talent spread throughout the league. I just can tell you the team that's not going to win it next year. It's my Brooklyn Nets.
I like when you say real quick though, Hayes, obviously we all thought this was the Knicks' best chance to win a title. And we thought it before because the East was a lot weaker, but I think they completely showed it wouldn't have, I don't think it would have mattered I don't think if the Celtics full strength were touching them or the Pacers. So, I'm happy they did it that way so that there's not question marks of they did it when the East was down. They were rolling through everyone and they just were, they're a completely worthy champion. And that's all you can ask for.
It was destined to happen this year, so
Yes. I mean, the fact that they came back in all 5 games said everything you needed to say about this team. The fact that the opening series game against the Cavs were stomping the Knicks' ass, and they said, wait, hold on a second. And then they took their soul from that point in time. At that point in time, I think it completely changed how everybody was looking at them. And it's why you started to hear, if you were paying attention, analysts started saying, I don't really care who the Knicks are playing. The way that they're playing basketball, Reggie Miller said it himself. The Knicks, one of the most hated people from the Knicks, for Knicks fans. He said, I don't care who the Knicks play at this point in time. The way they are playing basketball right now, I think they can beat anybody. Multiple analysts said that, and they were right. I don't think anybody that got in their way was going to stop them. They just had, it's momentum. Once you catch that certain fire, it was it. And there was nothing. Once they learned they can come back from anything, it was.
Jalen said it too. They didn't.
It was done from there.
Don't know why, but they don't wake up until 9:00. Start playing.
Yeah.
But I'm glad they did. So, hell of a season.
That's fair. That's fair. again, congratulations to you guys.
World
Cup. It's here. It's here. We got games going on right now as we speak. There's been games going on.
Yes.
Harrison, have you been watching?
Yeah.
Okay. The reason why I asked Harrison is because I know my other two brothers have not been watching.
Yes.
That's fair. That's fair. But now you're not occupied.
I wasn't
so
trying
that holds
I'm going
true.
to try.
As of last week, I truly didn't even really know when it was starting. But thanks to like some very weird social media accounts, namely like Freddie, this German that's traveled to America and is like just enjoying the shit out of things. And he's got JJ Watt giving him a penthouse and Sexy Red DMing him. And it's so that the FIFA marketing has been god awful. Like Fox, no, awful. Like the marketing for this tournament has been terrible. But now that we're in the rhythm of the game, so it's like 12-3, 7-9, whatever. You got like 5 games a day. So now I'm into it and I'm watching it. But prior to last week, I truly did not know which day this tournament was starting.
Last week was hard. There were like 2 games, right? One was over at 5, and the other one didn't start till 10.
Yeah,
I couldn't watch USA or the Canada game before that. Like the next day, like it's just like, come on, we need to schedule this a little.
The crowds have been really cool. USA looked great.
USA looked phenomenal.
Went to a watch party for that. People are out. People are outside. So USA plays again on Friday at 9.
I will tell you.
But then we had like the Scots take over Fenway Park. Like that was really awesome too. There's just so many cool things going on.
Tomorrow you have France playing. They're playing their first game, which is going to be ridiculous. And they're playing at MetLife, so that's going to be absolutely insane. Shout out to those that live in New York City or in the tri-state area. Really, more so New York City and Jersey. It's going to be absolutely insane. I'm very thankful for those that are going to the parade that there are no games in Jersey that day. So that helps out for sure. But if you're definitely going to go, for those, I know it's been 53 years and you haven't had a parade. Just giving you a heads up. If you're going to the parade and you live up towards us and you're taking a train down, I suggest you get on like the 5 a.m., 6 a.m. to get down there very, very early. Do not try to go closer to the time. Do not try to drive into the city. It would be a terrible idea for you to do that. Just giving you that. And those that are here for the World Cup that just so happen to maybe listen to this podcast, take New York Transit. I wonder
what that Venn diagram looks like.
Do that to get there.
First time, long time, guys. First time, long time.
I don't know, man. I know that there is probably smaller amounts of transportation because some of those buses that were burnt were transportation for the World Cup. So there's a little less places and vessels to get you to your destination, but you'll be fine. But no, tournament's good. I was telling Brendan and Sam before you came on, Harrison, there was like an upset today. And when I mean upset, it was in soccer fashion. It was 0-0. It was Cape Verde tied with Spain, which should never happen. But that's why you play the game, and that's the beauty of the game. You never know what's going to happen. It's been really, really good. I think Argentina plays tonight, if I remember correctly. They are the defending champs. Yes, they play. Today's the 16th, right? No,
when you're listening,
they play tomorrow. Argentina plays tomorrow. Their first game from there. Yes, correct. But it's been fun watching the watch parties. It's been fun seeing what's going on, traveling in Jersey, seeing all the World Cup signs, like going on I-95 2 weeks ago. There was not one World Cup sign. There's a Modelo sign for football. There's everything has changed now. As you get closer to the area to get to MetLife, it's telling you where the traffic's going, all the commuting and all those things. It's very intriguing to see that, but it's great in the sense of it being here. Like Harrison said, the marketing has been god awful because most people, unless you're paying attention, you didn't really know what was going on. But it's nice seeing all these cities and the watch parties that are actually happening and everything that's going on from there. So I've been enjoying watching this so far. Again, it's been on my over my shoulder as we
I think the
talk about this.
The beauty of it is
just
like
scored a
all,
goal
like,
as well. So there's
now
that.
Like in the social media age, like all the influencer marketing from all of these like random countries, like this woman from Norway just discovered ranch existed, and she's like, it's just
Like ranch
beautiful
dressing?
stuff, man. Yeah, like ranch dressing.
That's
There was
great.
someone from Japan tweeted about. Someone from Japan tweeted, "If you're by a Texas Roadhouse, you need to go there immediately. It is the most." It said the most performance cost effective steak, and I was like, "Yeah, I mean that's fucking accurate.
That is
That's fucking accurate."
that's valid. Yeah.
That's fair.
So just all
That's
of
fair.
all of that stuff
that's
I've been
fair.
so
That's
tapped into.
great.
It's just like kind of beautiful, man. Like, you know, USA, we've been not the most popular lately. So it's nice to like, you know, get some kickback here, man. We're great. We have great food. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
Texas Roadhouse, baby. We out here.
Texas Roadhouse.
yeah, it's that's insane.
I'll send you.
That's
I'll send
insane.
you-
That
I'll send you the
they're
rundown.
enjoying that. But
It is
good.
pretty awesome
Enjoy-
when you think
and
about it. So I
please do.
just looked it
Please
up.
do.
I know this off the top of my head, but 48 countries in the World Cup, which is mind-boggling.
It's a lot.
You know, yeah. The
There's
amount
too
of,
many, actually.
Mhm.
yeah.
Mhm.
The amount of teams, but also the amount of fans, like you said, that are making their way over here to watch these games. I'm pretty excited. I'll tune in to the MetLife game there to see what MetLife looks like with actual grass, and hope that catches
Can
on
they keep it?
somehow.
Yes.
Can they
some
keep
way.
it?
Yes.
So,
Stays.
League Neighbors is so pissed
stays.
right now.
Mhm. That'd be great.
Malik Neighbors,
Everybody that tore their
Rogers,
ACL and that is pissed
half-
right now. Like
half
you
the
couldn't do this. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Insane. But yeah, no, it's been really, really good. Again, I highly recommend today, when you guys hear this, to watch France and Argentina. Really, really good. It's a month in like a month and a half, right? So there's gonna be a game on every day. There's something to watch. What's weird to me this time is that normally when we watch the World Cup when it's not in the U.S., because it's been a very, very long time since the U.S., normally all the games are on during the day. Here you have to catch the games at 10 p.m. at night, so the people across the world can catch it earlier in the day now. So now it's flipped, and it's very, very weird for me. Because I'm so used to watching like during the day and like having the app on my phone and watching it during the day, and it's like, okay, it's weird. I gotta watch a game at 10 p.m. at
we're
night
in
now.
MetLife, we're in LA, we're in Seattle, we're in Mexico, we're in Canada. It's just it's like,
we're in Dallas. Yeah, we're in Canada. Yep, yeah, insane. Which I didn't realize they were at AT&T Stadium, but I forgot all about that.
It's insane
that they're there. Like it's insane. It's like it's nuts. But I'm very happy that these people are getting these experiences and whatnot. Now, it's been a little long podcast because I wanted my brothers to get their time. But before we go, speaking of experiences, did you guys experience what happened last night?
What?
I don't know how to answer this question, or if I want to.
I don't know what's about to happen.
Did you guys experience
hell no.
UFC
Sorry, man.
250?
It's been a minute since UFC Corner was a thing. But.
No,
I heard they were taken over by mosquitoes and locusts.
No.
Did that happen?
Talk about bad marketing. I didn't even know that was yesterday.
Well,
I assumed
first
it was
off,
Saturday because of it's always on Saturday.
UFC is always on Saturday. Correct. This is the first time UFC has been on Sunday. They had a live band, which I think was a military band, playing all the entrance music. So this one particular fighter is from Penn State, and, we are Penn State. So the young lady had to keep singing, oh, as this guy walks down, takes off his stuff, has the ref doing all the stuff, walking out, dapping up all his people. This girl, literally, I pray it's on social media somewhere. She did that part for like 10 minutes straight. And it was just like, I felt so bad for her because it's her doing it, not the actual music. So she kept having to do,
That's a tough feat.
And then she was waiting. I was like, okay, like, is she going to stop? I was just like, poor girl, that she continuously is doing this. But it was all sung. Then I got to watch today because there was the stage, and around the stage was, politicians, military. They had heroes walking down with the fighters and whatnot. The families were there. But then they did a zoom out, and there's behind the stage is where all the regular fans are at. And they had a big screen, like they had a watch party of what was right in front of them going on behind there. Now, if you look on social media, there was fights that were happening outside the octagon where the police had to start choking people out. It was so,
I'm glad
to
I missed
me,
this.
This was no. You should go and just check out some of the things. There was some really good fights.
Yeah.
There was a lot of cringy stuff.
It's a little dystopian.
A lot of cringy stuff. It was something.
Dystopian's
it was
a good word.
something.
It's a good
Let's
word.
just put it that way.
That's
All I
that
kept thinking
accompanies
throughout this, it is. All I kept thinking is, I wonder what the rest of the world is thinking. I would hope that
they were just at Texas Roadhouse enjoying themselves instead of watching that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Get those dinner rolls. We're all set. Yeah.
I hope
cinnamon butter. So. Like,
Yeah.
I saw this meme or something, or
sign me up.
It's whatever it is. Like, I feel like for the last decade or so, we've been slowly microdosing hell every day.
Yeah, that's a speed run right there.
And I'm like, well, that makes sense. So I'm glad the Knicks, were able to kind of, create some euphoria for a lot of us, because it's been needed, just regardless of whatever you feel.
That's so valid. It's like the Knicks won, New York is on fire. We got, tourists from all over the world coming and enjoying our country. And then we get, UFC 250. And I'm like,
yes.
You know what? I'm feeling
UFC.
Good.
Yep.
I'm just gonna leave that one alone.
Yep.
The fact that we legit
just
who have a sports podcast and have over 200 episodes. Hayes, you said, did you guys see what happened last night? And the three of us had no idea what you were talking about. Kind of just encompasses again what we're talking about. Like,
yeah.
I heard Dana say he wasn't doing it again.
It's
yeah.
I mean,
I watched it so you guys didn't
I was
have
watching
to.
Hurricane Canes Vegas. Shout out Canes, Stanley Cup champs. So yeah, that's a little more wholesome for me. Yeah.
That was the better watch. I'm sure of it. Again, I'm a huge fan of watching UFC for the fights, but now that politics has essentially seeped its way into it.
Yeah, now
I'm almost completely checked out. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, now it got co-opted by MAGA. You're out now.
We didn't need that. Yeah, listen. The fact that Mr. Trump's son reached out to Daniel Cormier to find out so he can get an insider trading or betting was the topic of it. I said, Yep, this is where we're at. I forgot this was going on in the world because we had the Knicks to watch, and the NBA playoffs have been so fun, and the World Cup was there. And this just brought me back down to earth. So it was a dose that I didn't know I didn't want, but I got it. So again, guys, you don't have to watch it because I watched it for you. But if you see anything on social media, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about.
You have to pay for that.
So with that being said.
Okay. All right.
I have Paramount, so I have Paramount for the sole reason to watch UFC, so I don't have to pay for all the pay-per-views or try to do Stream Hub because that's
just have to ask that.
Down and whatever it is.
That question. That's all.
Stream E, excuse me. Yeah. It's there. It's more for Rachel to watch the real world, old school stuff on there. Which they have the jankiest app anyway. But ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Chasing Points podcast, which is deemed the Orange and Blue Skies podcast for our brothers here. Again, I'm very, very happy for you too. I hope you find yourself down in the city and you get to enjoy this because I don't know when the next time we're going to be able to watch one. Hopefully the Yankees do that for us and we can all go collectively and live stream ourselves down there together. and show people the experience. That would be a podcast for the ages. But again, I'm very, very happy for you guys. And as Brendan loves to say, and as Sam loves to say,
I love
Knicks tape.
Bing bong.
Bing bong.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
There you go. And that's it. The Chasing Points podcast. We don't even need to close it out. That's just it for you guys. Goodbye. Kick rocks. We love you. Go enjoy the parade. Don't flip cars. Don't burn anything. We love you guys. Bye.